Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, that is Science Unlocked. And as you can see in front of your screens, today we will going to take up the topic motion and measurement of distances, which is coming from class 6th Science NCERT textbook. So, motion, what exactly is motion? Anything, any object that is moving, we can say that it is in motion. So, we should know that which are the things that are moving around us and which are the things which are at rest, because we know this thing that there are certain objects which have the tendency to move, whereas there are certain objects which will remain at rest. As you can see in front of you are the two situations: the girls are riding the bicycle, or the kids are riding the bicycle, whereas the rest is about the house that is at rest. Now, over here, how exactly we have identified that the girls or the kids that are moving on the bicycle or that are riding the bicycle, they are in motion, whereas the house is in rest. So this thing can be observed with reference to time. Time plays a major role with reference to identifying or finalizing that whether an object is moving or not moving. Any time, or you can say in any of the situation, any of the cases, if we say that with passing time the object is changing its position, then it is considered as motion. So anything which is moving is actually considered as a moving object because it is changing its position with time. Now, when we talk about the motion, it has certain aspects. One is being the relative aspect of slow or fast motion. Now, whenever we say that something is moving fast or something is moving slow, it is because we have a comparative analysis or a relative observation. If I am saying that one object, or over here this bunny is moving faster than the turtle or the tortoise, whichever you want to go for this organism, then in that case you will observe that we are saying this thing that the bunny is running faster or moving faster because the other thing is there with which we can relate it with. There is one other thing which is in motion and it is changing slowly and gradually with passing time, whereas the first thing is changing its position at a faster rate. So that is why the concept of moving is related with certain aspects like this, that what is which material is moving faster and which material is moving slower. So whichever object is covering more distances in less time or changing its position very speedily with time, then in that case it is the fast motion. Or on the other hand, the object which is not moving so fastly or not changing its position so rapidly, then in that case it is considered as the slow motion. Now, one another aspect related with this aspect is, with the aspect of motion, is that it can be the complete object which is showing the motion, or it can be the part of it. For example, if you are observing an organism, or let us say a human moving in front of you or passing by you, then in that case you will say the human is moving, the man is moving, the woman is moving, the kid is moving. In that case, it is the whole object which is under observation is moving. On the other hand, if you are simply observing the movement of head, or let us say movement of hands, then you will not say that the whole object is moving. It is only the part of the object which is moving. So this is one of the aspect related with the motion. And on the other hand, we can say that because of all these factors which are involved in movement, then we can say that there are certain things which have the tendency to move, whereas there are certain things which are the stationary objects or the non-moving objects. Now comes the aspect that if there is a motion, then that means that there should be certain types of motion, which comes under the category of rectilinear, circular and periodic motion. Now over here you will say that there are 4 motions mentioned, but over here there are only 3 motions mentioned. That means we do have some explanation to be done with reference to these types of motion. So let's get into that. The very first that we are looking into is rectilinear motion, where we talk about the straight line motion. anything which is moving in straight line, any object which is moving in straight line is considered as rectilinear motion. That simply means that whenever this straight moving object will going to take a turn, automatically it has stopped moving in the rectilinear motion and it has changed its path. Now that's a different aspect, that after changing the path, after changing the direction of the motion, it has again transit itself into the rectilinear motion. For example, let us say the object was moving like this and now it has taken the turn and again moving like this. So again, after taking the turn, it has taken the straight motion or the straight line motion. So that is considered as the rectilinear motion. Now the second part or the second kind of motion that we have is the circular motion, which talks about the movement of an object along a circular path. Means anything which is moving in a circular motion like this, then it is considered as simply circular motion. For example, we have hands of clock, blades of fan, rotation of earth, and there are many multiple examples. But whenever we talk about circular motion, it is normally considered with reference to the circumference or the periphery or the boundary. Whenever within a circular motion I am fixing a specific central point along which that motion is going on, then it is considered as the rotational motion. So whenever we say that a particular object is moving on its axis or spinning on its axis, so it's quite obvious that the boundary or the periphery of the object is showing the circular motion, but because of specifying that central point, we can say that it is the rotational motion that we are referring to. For example, a spinning top, the earth moving on its axis, and there are multiple examples that you can quote up along with these examples. So with this we move to the third type of motion, or we can say the fourth kind of motion, because in the circular we have talked about two specific kind of motion. So in the periodic motion we will see that there will going to be a repetition after a fixed interval of time, and the best example for this is the pendulum, where an object which is like kept or arranged in the form of a pendulum will be starting from a central point and will be moving towards the extreme points, and every time the motion will going to be equal in both the extreme parts. For example, let us say we will going to take this line as the main line or the specific line, and one line we will going to take as this line. So the object is here. If it is going till this line on the left side, on the right side also it will going to go till this line. And let us say from here the object was forced to move till this line, then automatically the other side will also be moving till this line only. That means in case of periodic motion, not only the interval of time is fixed, it is also the extreme points with which the object will be showing the motion. So that is how we specify the periodic motion with rest of the motions. So we have talked about three types of motion: rectilinear, circular, within which we have talked about the rotational motion, and the third one, that is the periodic motion. Now let's have an idea that how exactly the whole transportation system has evolved during these times. Because initially what happened is, man was obviously not that much smart as it is today. So it has to undergo different set of evolutionary changes, and as per the mind of the human being, the application that they will be using in their day-to-day life will also be evolving. So initially we had the basic kind of things which were heavy, are either made up of wood logs or maybe sometimes stones, which were ultimately making the things easier for them, but not more and more useful. Or you can say the laborious work reduced a little bit, but not to that extent which can be considered as more and more useful. So what happened is that gradually the mind evolved, and so the application that they were using evolved. So initially it started off with stones, then the wood logs, then the logs having spaces in between them but being equally efficient. On the other hand, then came the different set of vehicles which turned the whole thing and whole process of mechanism of transportation totally different, and modified it so that it can be used by individuals for their benefit purposes. And ultimately came the concept of the kind of machines, kind of mechanisms which led to formation of things like buses, train, cars, aeroplane, and now we have ample amount of vehicles, and we are thinking about extreme speed, extreme like extreme speed plus extreme sense of luxury, extreme sense of the efficacy of the in a particular object or the particular vehicle that we are referring to, on the whole leading to a new set of world in terms of transportation system. So with this we have done the first part of the chapter, and the rest we will going to continue in our next session. Till then, keep learning and take care everyone.